I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic autoimmunity. The, su- the topic is related to subject immunotechnology and the discipline is food and biotechnology. So as you can see in the diagram that immune system differentiate self from the non-self. When a self molecule is present, then there is not any kind of immune response because it is self, and immune system discriminate between self and non-self, so it will not react to self molecules. But in the case of non-self or foreign particles, the immune system will identify it and will have a strong immune response, and it will kill the foreign or non-self cells. So immune system does not react to any self antigen, but sometimes it in the some inappropriate conditions, immune system will identify the self antigens, and when it will identify the self antigens, it will react it, and it will cause its killing. The case of killing the self cells and identify and responding to the self cells is known as the autoimmunity. Okay, autoimmunity is the failure of organism in recognize its own constituent parts as non-self, which allow an immune response against its own cells and tissues. And due to these autoimmune disorders, im- uh, these autoimmunity can cause some serious damage to the cells, organs, and tissues. The tissues and cellular damage could be caused by autoantibody as well as T cells. And in the case of autoimmunity, that is the failure of immune system in which it identifies the self particles as non-self. In the case of autoimmunity, uh, T cell or B cell mechanism is failed, and which lead to the imbalance between the lymphocyte activation and control mechanism. So some of the general causes that are associated with autoimmunity is defects in deletion of T and B cell receptor, and defects in number and function of regulatory T lymphocytes, defects in apoptosis. Apoptosis means normal degradation of some old or unuseful cells by immune system is known as the apoptosis. Inadequate function of inhibitory receptors and activation of antigen presenting cells which will identify the self cells as a non-self. But some important thing is that the major histocompatibility complex will not identify them as non-self. T and B cells and lymphocytes are involved in the autoimmunity. Mechanism of induction of autoimmunity. What are the major mechanism in the case of autoimmunity? Release of some sequestered antigens, molecular mimicry means some unusual DNA sequence will arise, and inappropriate MHC2 expression and polyclonal activation of B cells. And Autoimmune disorders may result in destruction of one or more type of body tissue, abnormal growth of an organ, and change in organ function. Now, what are the autoimmune diseases? So, autoimmune diseases are the diseases which arises when immune system is failed, and when immune system will identify its self particle as non-self. So when it will identify the self particle as non-self, some diseases can be caused, which we will discuss in our next topic. What are the symptoms of autoimmune diseases? The symptoms of autoimmune disease include the anxiety, blood sugar changes, digestive dizziness, elevated fever, and extreme sensitivity to cold in the hands, fatigue, infertility, inflammation, and irritability. These are the uh, symptoms of autoimmune diseases. So our lecture is over here. We will discuss some another video tutorial, that is the role of autoimmune disease.